Hello and welcome to the Brandon Smith Rugby channel here on YouTube. We're all set to go and I've just realised I've forgotten to put my lighting on, so I will be 2 seconds. You can enjoy my background. There we go, much better indeed. Welcome along to this watch along between Ireland and France down at the Aviva. It's bitterly cold up here in North Wales, but we've got some rugby to watch, and I've already seen some of you are in the comments. Janet, welcome along, good luck to Ireland. David Topping, good friend of the channel, and of course the host of the Ulster Rugby Roundup show on the 3pod Rugby group. Come on, Ireland. And Gregor Galway, of course, got the shirt on. Good to kick off, and France as well. Well, I've got the French top on today. I don't actually have an Ireland top. I don't have an Ireland top. I've got Leinster, Ulster, and a Munster top. So I need the Connacht one, and I need an Irish one. But the Irish one is in the post, so should be reaching shortly. But if you are new here, be sure to subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to like and follow the page as well. You're all very welcome here. Let's chat about rugby. Let's enjoy the game together. Just to quickly reiterate that I don't show the games on these watch-alongs due to copyright, but of course with the pandemic this year we can't go to the stadium, we can't be down at the pub with our mates, we can't be in our local clubs watching these games, so we can all get together and we can watch the rugby together this way. So do get involved in the chat, do get involved in the comments as well. Remember to keep it all rugby, and it will be good. Let's quickly take a look at the teams then. Both teams have been announced, of course, so we're going to take a look at both sides. Now, this is the Irish team that lines up for you today, of course. Some big changes. So, starting at fullback, we got Hugo Keenan. Our fullback, Keith Earls, is on the wing with James Alone, the other wing. Henshaw and Ringrose are the centre partnerships. And, of course, the big news this week, Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton are both out injured. And so we have Gibson Park starting at 9 with Billy Burns starting at 10. Then the front row looks like this: Healy, Herring and Porter. Then you've got Byrne and Henderson, who's captain for this game. Josh van der Fleer, who scored last week against Wales, starts at 7 alongside Ruddock. And then CJ Stander, the ever-present, starts at 8. As both teams are now coming out, let's take a look at the French team. So this is how France line up. So starting with the fullback, Dulin starts at fullback with Penaud comes in for Teddy Thomas. We spoke about this in the week on our preview shows about Teddy Thomas in the air. So Penaud comes in, and Vincent and Ficou play in the centres. Ficou will win his 60th cap today. Villiers is on the other wing. The amazing and probably the best scrum half in the world, Antoine Dupont, is at 9. Of course, he is alongside Jalibert, and Tamac still out injured. Looking at the forwards, then you've got Bailly, Marchand and Hawass, so a lot of power in that front row. Leroux and Wilhelms then are the lock partnerships with Jelonch, Aldrit and Olivon, of course, as captain. So a very, very strong team from both sides, really. And coming into this game, you'd have to say that France are probably favourites, wouldn't you? But you can never, ever underestimate how good this Irish team can be, and they have a point to prove after losing last weekend against Wales. But I felt, as a Wales fan, that Ireland deserved to win the match and probably played the better rugby. But we shall see as we go on throughout the game. Remember, get your comments in, any questions, any thoughts on the games. David Toppin is not the biggest fan of my shirt choice. I do apologise, but the Irish top is in the post, so it'll be here very, very shortly for the next round of fixtures, I am sure, because Ireland have Italy next, if I'm correct in saying that. So I'm sure we'll do a watch along here on the channel for that one. But both teams are out now. We're ready for the anthems. We'll get them in the background for you. And we are ready to go here on the Brandon Smith Rugby channel and on Facebook as well. You're most welcome along today. Both teams just getting themselves sorted. Of course, reiterating the message that racism has no place in rugby, which is very, very true indeed. So both players taking a minute. And again, to reiterate that message, that it doesn't have any place in rugby racism at all. Time for the anthems then. Of course, no crowd, but it'll be Le Massier first of all. So the French national anthem. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Freddie Clark, are you looking forward to Wales versus England? Yes, I am. That'll be a very interesting game for sure in 2 weeks' time. Daddy Bakari Sidibe is on Facebook. How you doing, mate? Welcome along. Hope you're doing well, my friend. As the French national anthem plays out loud and proud, which is brilliant to see. Very odd without players, and you can hear how bad some of these players are at singing, but it's all good. It's all good. It's quite funny, to be honest. So that's good. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this game is going to be a very competitive one. The interesting thing is to see whether 15 players will stay on the pitch. We've had 2 red cards already in the opening couple of weeks or so, and yeah, we don't want to see that, do we, too much? But rightly so, both red cards, in my opinion. The Irish national anthem singing out now. As we are ready for this game. I'm strangely organised today, on the whole, except for the lighting that we had before. Just as I share this out on my social media, be sure to share it with your friends. If you know people watching this alone today, make sure to reach out to them and say, look, join us here, have some rugby chat, have some banter. It'll be good fun to have you on. Adrian says, I hope this is going to be a big match. I hope we don't see too many injuries. Absolutely. You do not want to see injuries in rugby. It's just not fun. Wales have already lost a lot of players. Yes, we have lost a lot of players with that, but we got a 2-week break now, so hopefully we'll get some of them back over the next few weeks or so. I feel like I'm really sure, but maybe not. Here we go then. Ireland's second anthem as such. But get your predictions in the chat. We're very, very close to kickoff here, about 2 minutes away, just as they're wrapping up the anthems here down at the Aviva. As we just get things ready to go here. There we go. That's all shared out. Brilliant. It's good to see. LouTube, welcome back, my friend. Hope you're well. GG, fair play, Wales. We wanted a great game, and that's what we got. Yes, we will talk about them, of course, at half-time. The games we've had so far this weekend. I think this tournament so far has been brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed watching the tournament so far. It's been an enjoyable tournament, and it's been good rugby on the whole. We haven't seen too cagey a game, although the England-Scotland one was a little bit different. But we are ready to go here. Just as we get sorted. Turn the adverts down in the background. We don't need them on. There we go. So, predictions, guys, in the chat. Get them in the chat. I want to hear your predictions for this one. Who you're backing to win this one. I know there's a lot of Irish people going to be watching, going to get upset for me saying this, but I think France is going to win by 5-7. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ireland won. It's important that Ireland keep it tight, that they're able to slow down that French speed of ball that they can get. And if you stop Dupont, you probably stop France, but can you stop him? That's the big question, isn't it? That is the big question. Can you stop Dupont? So Billy Burns starting at 10, of course. Interesting to see how he gets on today with Sexton and Murray both out. Of course, John Cooney was called up to the squad. Big talks about why he wasn't in the squad originally, but he's now in the training squad. So it's going to be interesting to see, isn't it, how this one goes. Luke Pearce is the referee for this one. France for the win, says Adrian. By how much, Adrian? Let me know. Dupont has his eye on the game so well. He's the best scrum half in the world, isn't he? Without a doubt, in my opinion. He's the best in the world. Ian Gilbert, how are you doing? Good afternoon. Good to see you all the way from sunny Madrid. How are you doing? We've kicked off here down at the Aviva. If you want to time your game to mine, sing it to mine. We're hitting 10 seconds now. So we just hit 10 seconds there into the game. If you want to watch this one live, you can watch on ITV for free if you live in the UK. So be sure to do that. And France already have a break here. Dupont back to Jalibert, just outside the 22. Vincent decides to kick. And it is Billy Burns, was born in his own 22. He'll kick this one, and he kicks it out. He does as well. So it'll be a throw-in, a line out here to France on the halfway line. So France already breaking through there, but it's a line out to France on their own 20, on the halfway line, sorry. I think Ireland have won this one. Yes, they have. They've stolen it out of the line. Billy Burns looks to give the kick, which he does. Oh, who's got this one? I think France will collect this one. Yes, Vincent collects it inside his own 22 from that high kick. Ireland very, very physical and up in the French faces, not giving them any time to do anything so far. Jalibert clears only as far as Billy Burns, who finds James Lowe in a little bit of space here. Now, James Lowe hasn't really done it for Ireland yet, has he? He's done it for Leinster over the years, but he hasn't quite done it for Ireland in his first few appearances. Ringrose takes it into contact here. Oh, nearly an intercept then from Villiers, sorry. But Ireland will have the scrum for the knock-on. So, 2 minutes in, Ireland really taking the game to them here. Really good start to the game. Adrian says Ireland 12, France 22. Quite a big difference then. What is everyone else's predictions for this one? Let me know in the comments down below. Who are you backing to win this one? As I just saw my camera out there. So France looking to kick early on here. They've kicked a lot actually out of their own 22. And they probably know with this Irish team that maybe trying to play through them with the likes of the back row, the likes of Stander, the likes of Fleer, who can be so good at the breakdown, that getting stuck and getting caught in your own 22 when you're trying to run it out is just not the best idea in the world. Ireland here then. On the 10-metre line, Gibson Park goes to the box kick. This should be Villiers. And it is, and he calls for the mark. He's taking it quickly, though. Interesting choice. Dupont goes down the blind side, finds Hawass. Ireland looking to hold the man up here. He does go down eventually. It's a lovely box kick from DuPont, actually. Good distance on that. Gibson Park gives the high kick. I don't really think that's going to be a competitive kick at all. No, it's not. And Jalibert has time. Puts boot to ball at Keith Earls inside his own 22. He has carried that in, so he won't be able to kick it out. Dulan finds Jalibert once again. A lot of kick tennis going on here, folks. A lot of kick tennis going on. James Lowe, I think he's going to send this one out. And he is. Are France going to keep this one alive? No. So line out to France, halfway inside their own half, just outside the 22. I don't think you'd be too annoyed about that, will you? You would not be too annoyed about that. So a decent start from Ireland, winning that battle there, the kicking game, for sure. It's not the most impressive and most beautiful way of playing rugby, but it does the job a lot of the time. Well, Ireland have stolen this line out once again. Van der Fleer. Tackled by Aldreet. France trying to counter-work there. But I'm really impressed by Ireland's physicality here. Really impressed by it. The tenacity in their attack. But they're not really stretching this French defence much. And again, they're going to kick once again. And that's a compliment to France's defence, you'd have to say. Well, this ball has bounced everywhere. It's dropped to Ringrose. Bit fortuitous. Henderson takes it in. Tackled, though. Billy Burns. Not really going anywhere. Again, this French defence not really been tested yet, to be honest. For all of Ireland's possession, Ringrose looks to step inside, but Olivon gets his arms on him. France's discipline. Fair play to them. Wow. Gibson Park finds Stander. Stander takes it in. Makes a couple of metres here. Just outside the 22 now. Gibson Park decides to send it to the backs. Here's Hugo Keenan. It's knocked on. This could be dangerous. And Ficou can't quite gather it. But they'll come back for the original knock on. And it'll be scrum to France. So Ireland dominating in the early proceedings here. Oh, you got a minute delay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ian. Sorry to hear that. Well, you'll catch up to that knock on in just a few seconds then. But do make sure if you're new here and you haven't done so already to subscribe. It's free to do as we push towards 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. It'd be great to be able to push forward. Thank you to those who have already subscribed. Much appreciated. But please hit that subscribe button. It's free to do here on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, like and follow the page. So Ireland very dominant in this first half, first 6 minutes or so, but not really testing the French defence. And it seems this tactic is that when it's not working, is to kick. And they have had a bit of success. I'm not sure if it's windy in Dublin today, but they've had a bit of success doing that. But the first scrum of the match, it's a solid scrum from both sides, really. Maybe France had the upper hand. Jalibert. Vincent kicks. It's not the worst kick, actually. That could work really well. That's a brilliant kick. Right down into the 22 of France, of Ireland there. It's Dulan, sorry, who got the kick. So still 0-0, 8 minutes in. It's going to be a territory game, this one, for sure. You can just sense it already. Who can play in the right areas of the pitch? That's what it's going to be, for sure. So a line out to France, to Ireland, sorry, probably about 15 metres out, maybe 12, 13 metres out from the try line. France don't challenge that one. It is the ball, though, having at the base of this one. Penalty to Ireland there. Losing his bind, I believe, there from Hawass. in at the side, and France will have an easy exit. So Ireland probably on top here, you'd have to say. But for all of Ireland's dominance, can they make it count? Again, I've been very impressed by this French defence, actually. Really impressed by it. Very much so impressed. So, yeah, they're doing very, very well, this defence. And get your thoughts in the chat, folks. Let me know what you're thinking of this first nearly 10 minutes now, in fact. Advantage to Ireland here. Olivon is offside. Oh, in fact, it's Josh van der Fleer who's been penalised for Ireland here. Holding on to the ball. Now, what do fans do here? Do they take the points? Because they've not been in the game at all. So they may think that it's worth getting something on the scoreboard. So let's see what their decision is here. Again, they haven't had any chance really to attack, to be honest. He is going for the post. Jalibert is going to aim for the post. And for France, this has been a brilliant start. You know, Ireland have had all the ball. I've not done all that much with it, to be honest. Concerns of the line out for the French, but Jalibert with a kick here from probably about 35 metres out. A little bit left to the posts, but he should be able to get this one. But let's see if he's successful. He's missed. He's missed. The camera angle they gave us on ITV was horrendous, so we couldn't see the TV, but he has unfortunately missed. Or fortunately, if you're Irish, of course. So Jalibert with the miss there. A little bit left to the post. Just wide. Had the distance, but just not the angle. So we remain 0-0, 10 minutes and 33 seconds into this one. Now, France have the ball on the halfway line. What can they do from here? Hawass, he is huge with the ball here. Dupont. Oh, trying the offload. It's gone forward. A bit silly to try it there if you're French, but a scrum here to Ireland, and a little bit of a strange one, to be honest. Trying to play the offload. No need. They were getting a little bit over the game line there. So scrum to Ireland just inside their own half. So far, still 0-0. So scrum to Ireland just inside their own half here. Both sets of scrums did pretty well, to be honest, last time out. And I don't see the French scrum really attacking this one. Penalty to Ireland. Number 1 for Ireland, for France, losing his binding. And that's an easy exit for Ireland now. Billy Burns will send this one to just outside the 22. So Ireland attacking here. We haven't seen a lot of invention from Ireland yet, have we? Van der Fleer might be a little bit isolated here, but he seems to be all right. Billy Burns. This French defence, what Sean Edwards has done with this side is pretty incredible. Ball out here. James Lowe is in. If he can get there, brilliant tackle by Dulan as he gets into the 22. If Ireland can get speed of ball here. So close to turning it over there, the French. Low caught by Dupont. Burns into Stander. Lovely rip from Ficou, and this could be France's opportunity to attack. Oh, why didn't he kick? He should have kicked it there. And Jalibert will clear it, and that's a decent little kick, that is. Wow, interesting from Ireland. They're trying to, I don't know, James Lowe was the only real player who really penetrated that French defence, if we're being totally honest. And Ficou with an incredible rip. It's a brilliant rip from him on his 60th cap. This French defence looks really good, man. It looks really good. I'm very, very impressed by this French defence. Still 0-0. 15 minutes into this one. Ireland with the line out though. On the 10-metre line. Billy Burns kicks. It's going to land just inside the 22. And Dulan calls for the mark. He's going to kick this one, which he does. He's out on his head. It's not a bad kick at all. They've kept it alive here. Dulan with ball in hand, running up to the 22, sends it up, chasing it. It's going to be him and Earls. Earls collects. A little bit of pressure on Ireland here now. And they will reset and go again. A lot of kicking going on in this game. Dupont. I mean, Lowe is chasing him, but he's sending it to... It's not quite finished out. So Hugo Keenan with ball in hand. Is he going to kick? He's running. Tackled by Olivon. So Ireland get into the French 22 here. Gibson Park. Billy Burns sends it up. Once again, Billy Burns. I don't know what's going on with him. Oh, brilliant take by Dulan there for France. It's an interesting tactic, this. They're trying to kick, and it's just not working for Ireland. Ireland have won the ball, though, at the ruck here. It will be a penalty to Ireland. Off his feet there. But an interesting tactic there. I think Ireland take the post here, surely. Yes, they do. So Billy Burns will look to give Ireland the first score of the match. It's very interesting, this one, isn't it? To look at this one. I mean, it's all a little bit crazy at the minute. But it's great to have rugby, isn't it? It's great to have rugby so far. I mean, so far in the game, looking at the match stats, so far, Ireland have had 62% possession to France's 38, and overall territory then is 68 to 32 in Ireland's favour. Time in the opposition 22, 45 seconds to Ireland, 25 seconds to France. So they just haven't had any ball in hand. And France have actually kicked more than Ireland. They've kicked 26% of the possession they've had away. So it's an interesting start, isn't it? It's an interesting start here. A very cagey affair. But Billy Burns, to give Ireland 3, he's completely missed it. It's very wide. 3-4 meters wide, that one, and it remains 0-0. Both teams missing important kicks at the start of this one, you'd have to say so. Jalibert will restart with the 22. I mean, France just haven't had the ball, if we're being totally honest. And Ireland seem to, when they've run out of ideas of what to do, the tactic is to kick. But Hugo Keenan coming round here on the wraparound into the French half. Porter takes it into contact. Oh, that was close. Gibson Park will kick. They are getting a little bit of success with the high kicks, but to me, that's surely gone forward from Ireland. Lupis says no. Ireland carry on then. Billy Burns out to Henshaw. He's got Earls out wide. Earls steps past Vincent, but Villiers catches him. Into the 22 here. Ireland making a little bit more headway. As a massive motorbike goes past my house. Gibson Park fires out. Billy Burns finds Hugo Keenan. Big hit from Olivon there. Gibson Park tries to go alone. He might be isolated here. Ireland need to be careful. He is. Oh, no, it's gone the Irish way. Not rolling away. Ireland had the advantage anyway. And this will be a much easier 3 points for them. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We just hit 950 subscribers, so that means a lot. We want to push towards our 1,000 subscribers, so thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching it on YouTube, please do subscribe. It means the world, and it's free to do, and it keeps you up to date with everything that goes here on the channel. I tried to up the quality, got a new lighting, got a new camera and things like that, so trying to up the quality for you guys as well. So 20 minutes in, this should be an easy 3 points here for Billy Burns. It should be pretty easy. 25 meters out, just slightly left to the post, but pretty much in front of the post, to be honest. Much easier than the last 1 yard. And he's got it. Ireland lead 3 points to 0 here. Down at the Aviva. Let me just upstate the banner at the bottom. There we go. There we go. So 3-0 to Ireland. 20 minutes in this one, halfway through the first half. A very interesting first half. But France just need to get the ball in hand if they want to do something here. Ireland don't look like scoring a try at the minute, if I'm being totally honest. James Lowe clears. Down to Dulan, who finds Jalibert, who also kicks. And that could be a brilliant kick. It might be a little bit too much. Keith Earls just over the try line, and James Lowe kicks it out for a line out for France just outside of the 22. So France with the first opportunity of this game to really attack the 22. So here we go. Let's see what France can come up with here. Be sure to get your comments in on the game so far, and also any questions you've got for me regarding any of the games of the weekend. We'll line out to the French, and they've won their line out. No, they've dropped it. It's gone forward. I'm convinced that went forward from France, and I think it did. Yes, it did. Luke Pearce will call for it. Well, and when France have had the ball, they've just not done nothing with it. And they haven't had enough ball to do anything with it. So it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit, I think, a lack of communication, to be honest. Yeah, it's forward. There we go. So scrum to Ireland, just outside their own 22. Let's see what they can build from here. Gibson Park will feed this one in. Ref says use it. Henshaw is the first receiver. The box kick, of course. Oh, Keith, was that a bang there on the head? Is you right? Now, I'm not sure what's gone on here. Some foul play. I'm not sure if he's pushed him or if he's just run into him. Okay, we're going to check this, I think. I'm going to check if this is a clear trip. Ian, I've seen your comment. I will get to it in a second. We're just going to have a look at this TMO. Now, is this a clear trip from? It's a clear trip. He's off here. Bernard LaRue is going to go to the bin here. Yeah, he's going to the bin. It's definitely. This is definitely a yellow. Yeah, he's off. Stupid thing to do there. So unnecessary. The TMO is always going to pick that up. And it's just stupid, completely stupid. Ian Gilbert asks, what's your opinion on May's try? I thought it was a clear jump over the tackler. And Nigel Owens is of the same opinion. Yes and no. I understand why he's jumped like that to get in the corner. Do I think it's 100% necessary? No. I don't think it matters, though, really, to be honest, because England were going to win that game anyway, weren't they? So it doesn't really matter. LouTube says would like Ireland to win this one for our sake and for us as well, for Wales. You know, it'd help us a lot if Ireland can take something off the French. Freddie Clark says yellow. Absolutely. It was 100% a yellow card. It's just stupidity. And so France now have 9.5 minutes. And the driving ball comes in from Ireland. The ball is with Porter at the back into the 22. It's a very, very good drive here from Ireland. Gibson Park out to Henshaw. Henshaw to Billy Burns on the wraparound. There's a man out wide here. If Hugo Keenan can find James Lowe, this should be try time. It's a heck of a time. Oh, he's reached it. He's reached it. Now, I think he's going to check it to see if it's a double movement, but I think this is okay from James Lowe. Oh, we're only looking for touch. So he's happy with the grounding and everything. He's just looking for touch. I personally thought it was okay. Yeah, we want Ireland to win this one to open up. Well, LouTube, we're waiting to see. He's out. I think he's out. He's out. That's touched out. He's out. It's not a try. This isn't going to count, folks. I don't think so. I think his foot has just clipped the line. It's literally clipped it for a second there. There. I think that's touched the line. Just. I think it's caught it. I think it's caught it. Yeah, it's not going to count, unfortunately. I'll be surprised if this is given. Chelsea FC fan TV Taylor. Oi, oi. Hello. Welcome. I haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the channel. Hope you are doing well, my friend. If you're new here, do subscribe. It's good to have you on. So no try, in touch. It's a great tackle, you'd have to say, wouldn't you? LouTube, if Ireland win this, the Six Nations is open for anyone to win. It'd be very interesting, won't it? But no try for Ireland there. Very unlucky from James Lowe. And we had said 10 minutes or so ago that we hadn't seen enough. Haven't seen enough from James Lowe in an Ireland shirt yet. So we want to see more from him. That's for sure. Knock on from Ireland just after this. Score that try. Scrum to the French. So let's see how fans can deal with this. Oh, they've got 8 minutes and a half to go on this yellow card. Let's see how they can deal with this now. What will be the game plan? Will it be to try and run with it a little bit, or will they just look to kick this away? Because they are 5 meters out from their own try line, their own put-in. It's a good push from Ireland. Oh, I think France are lucky to get away with that one. They've just got to get the ball out of the scrum here. Ficou is in the scrum for France as well, due to the yellow. If I'm Dupont, I'm putting this in and getting it out as quick as possible. I'm not faffing about with this at all. You just get this in, you get it out if you're Dupont. And Jalibert twats it as far as he can. Yeah, off he goes. Olivon just picks it up from the base and off they go. This is likely to be a box kick or straight back to Jalibert from Dupont. It is a box kick. He's actually done pretty well there. That's a heck of a kick. If that goes out, not quite. Hugo Keenan keeps it in, sends it high. Ireland kicking a heck of a lot. And he's actually won that. It's a brilliant take. They can get this ball wide. Gibson Park tries to kick it over the top. It's a decent little kick. Maybe should have kept ball in hand. So many cards this Six Nations. Indeed, there has been. Who's your favourite character in EastEnders? I don't actually watch it. I do not watch soap operas, to be honest, at all, really. Let me know yours, though. let me know yours, Chelsea FC fan TV Taylor. Let me know yours. That's a brilliant take from Hugo Keenan, you have to say. France with their own line out, they win it very well. Dupont, Olivon. Dupont will kick, clears his lines. Oh, James Lowe drops it, but it's gone backwards. So we will continue. Again, the high ball. France really struggling with this. Right, this is opportunity. Jalibert sees the open space. It's a decent little kick, actually. And France will be fairly happy with that. 10-meter line throw-in. Do you like any other sports as well? I'm a big football and rugby fan. I love football. I love football so much, right? Okay. I'm a Swansea fan, okay? So we're second or third in the championship now. Let me check. Brentford are currently playing. I think Brentford may have finished playing today. Our game yesterday was postponed due to icy pitch. But did they win or have they finished? They lost. They lost at home to Barnsley, which is brilliant. Oh, Dupont's in here. Ball's out to Panot. Panot into the 22. Quick ball here, and France should score. Jalibert. Ficou. Lovely hands. Olivon's going to score here for France. He has scored as well. It's a brilliant try, and France have scored with just 14 men on the pitch against Ireland's 15. And it's a brilliant try from France. There I am talking like about football. And France go and score. Ace try for Olivon. The handling here. Jalibert breaks the line there. It's lovely offloading. Dupont into space. Throws it over to basketball pass into Panot. Panot beats James Lowe. And the recycling is quick. Dupont throws it straight to Jalibert. Jalibert finds Ficou. Ficou takes a brilliant line, pops it into Olivon. And it's a brilliant finish for France. What a finish from France there. That is beautiful rugby. And to think that they're probably going to have 2 minutes left on this yellow card and they'll probably come away with 7 points from that time. They've got to be absolutely buzzing. And the reality is, that's the first time that France have attacked this Irish back line. That's the first time. And France have come away with a try. Madness. Jalibert. Oh, the ball's dropped off the tee. We'll look to add the other two. What a try that was. Jalibert adds the 2. France leads 7 points to 3. Very, very impressive try there from the French. France leading here. Very impressive try, man. A brilliant try from them. I'll be absolutely buzzing. That Fabien Galtier was buzzing with that one as well. A great try there for the side. Brilliant try. Brilliant try. Let me get back to some of your comments. Keenan is looking keen. LouTube's an Arsenal fan. Unlucky, mate. Freddie Clark is a Leicester fan. Incredible season a few years ago, of course. So 2 minutes left on this red card. Hugo Keenan with a little kick through, but Dulan collects. Finds Jalibert, who clears his lines. That's a very good kick. That's a brilliant kick. Brilliant kick, and a minute and a half left on this yellow now for France. Very, very impressive there. Very, very impressive. Ireland with the ball then here inside their own half will look to build. Eight minutes until half time. Gibson Park will do his usual box kick. Great try by France. It was a brilliant try. And come on, Ireland. France winning, really struggling with these high balls at the minute. Wales beating, and an advantage here to Ireland. Porter tackled there. Ringrose trying to dance through. Only just called by Hawass. Oh, trying to offload. Has been knocked on, but they'll come back for the original advantage. And for blocking there. So, 20 seconds left on the yellow card for France. 7 minutes left of the first half. So Billy Burns to send this one just outside the 22 of France. And Ireland will look to build. They are back to 15 men. No surprise at all there with the times up. And France got 7 points during that time. A little bit of a frustration for Ireland, I'm sure. But let's see what Ireland can do here. Billy Burns finds CJ Stander. Ireland retain possession though. Billy Burns. Oh, Keenan caught. Ball is loose. And France get the penalty. Off his feet there. I think Stander's been penalised. And this will be an easy exit for the French now. And they'll look to kick this down into Irish territory. Off his feet. So Jalibert is going to kick this one down. Good kick once again. Takes him up to the 10-metre mark. So we've got 5 minutes to go in this one, in this first half. France leading 7 points to 3. Try for Olivon. Penalty kick by Billy Burns. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Yes, very much so. Gibson Park loves a box kick, doesn't he? As Ireland rip the ball. Herring finds Billy Burns, who's absolutely nailed by Villiers. France will be looking to hold him up. France have ripped it now. Audrey finds, oh, it's lovely hands. LaRue's dropped it though. Oh, it's beautiful hands. Ireland literally a metre from their own try line here. James Lowe kicks. Advantage is over. Villiers keeps it alive. He finds Dulin. There's a bit of space on this right side for him. Plays it to Jalibert. Jalibert into Penaud. Penaud tackled. Dupont finds Leroux. Ball is there for Dupont. Oh, it's a lovely behind the back pass. And Ireland might have turned. No, Dupont gets it back. Goes for the dummy. He's going to be held up here. They need to get him to ground. I think Ireland might have turned this one over. It's going to be a scrum to France here just outside the 22. Damn. Some beautiful hands there. Lovely hands from France there. Thing is, when France have attacked, they've looked dangerous. When Ireland have attacked, have they looked so dangerous? Probably not, to be honest. You'd have to say. Just taking a little breather here, the players, with 3 minutes left of the first half. So just a reminder that at half time I will take a quick 2-minute break to get drinks, etc. But don't go anywhere. We will be back for the second half and for a bit of analysis at half time. So half time is the perfect time to get your questions in, to get your thoughts on the game in, and to get any other comments that you want to get in. So be sure to do that, and I'll read through them as we have a bit of a break at half time. So scrum to France here, just outside the Irish 22. Dupont to feed. It's a good scrum from Ireland, but France just about to get the ball out. Some big hits going in here between the props. Advantage, oh, Herring, you melon. What can France try here? No advantage. I think you take the points here if you're France. You take the points, you go in, 10 points to 3 ahead. You've had a man off for 10 minutes. You've got to try in that time. When you've attacked, you've looked dangerous. Ireland haven't really looked that dangerous. The only thing you're truly struggling with, you'd have to say, is with the high ball. It's been a comfortable half for the French, you'd have to say. So Jalibert will have a kick right from the post just outside the 22. This should make it 10 points to 3, and there'll be about a minute left of the first half. You think France will just hold on to it and then kick it when it goes red. So Jalibert to make it 10 points to 3 to France. Make sure to get your thoughts in during the half-time break. Jalibert adds the 3. It is, with a minute to go of the first half, France lead 10 points to 3 here. 10 points to 3 to France. So Billy Burns to restarts with a minute to go now. So here we go. As we wind down the clock. Agreed. And that's a comment, Ian, that we're going to really dissect at half-time. Still waiting for something new from Fowl's coaching team. We're going to dissect that at half-time. I will also make 5 talking points about the game later this evening, probably dropping about 7 o'clock on the channel. So do check that out. Be subscribed for that, because I'll be dropping tomorrow, where we'll have a bit of time to reflect on the game later. I'll go through some stats and things like that and have a look at how the game was won and lost for either side. So 10 seconds to go here. France will look just to kick this off when the 10 seconds is up. A couple more phases and the half will be theirs. There we go. This is going to go off. Jalibert kicks and it is half time, folks. Half time here. Half time. I think France will be buzzing with that first half. Ireland frustrated. But again, Ian's comment sums it up. We're looking to see something new. We've not seen that, but there we go. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to get a drink, going to go to the toilet. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dissect the first half together. Get your comments in. Keep the chat going in the chat, of course, and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you in just a second. There we go. We are back. Half time down at the Aviva. France currently leading 10 points to 3. Try for Olivon and a penalty to Jalibert, and Billy Burns also getting a penalty. We are going to get to your comments in just a second, but just a reminder to subscribe if you're new here, and also to get involved in the chat, because we have great rugby discussions in the chat. So get your questions in, get your thoughts in on the game. Keep it rugby. It's very important to do that, but let's enjoy the chat. Okay, let's get to some of your comments. Ian Gilbert says, still waiting for something new from Fowler's coaching team. Now, the way I've seen this first half is when something isn't working for Ireland, there are two options. Billy Burns either kicks it, or we have Gibson Park box kicking, and that seems to be the only tactic that works at the minute. Although, of course, James Lowe did get into the corner, but that did come off a high kick as well. Now, my problem with Gibson Park is he's very similar to an extent to Conor Murray, especially with his box kicking. And I don't know if that's Fowler's instruction, that if we get under pressure, we just box kick, or is that something that Gibson Park and Conor Murray was decided to go do? As obviously Freddie Clark says, the kicking game, absolutely, it's massive. It's a big issue, and it's making, I don't know, it's not working for Ireland enough. We haven't seen enough from Ireland in attack. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. LouTube asks this question. This question is about, of course, about yesterday's game. LouTube is a Scottish rugby fan. I picked the wrong comment there. This is the comment I was looking for. Would you say, as a Welsh fan, that Scottish rugby is on the rise, even though we lost yesterday? Yes, 100%. Absolutely, it is. You have players who are stepping up, players who are taking responsibility, players who are performing. Stuart Hogg, once again, was brilliant yesterday. Duran van der Merwe is a big, big find. I did do 5 talking points on the game yesterday. I'll drop in the chat, actually, for you to check that one out if you'd so like to do that, because there we spoke about the importance of some of the players and how Scotland were so unlucky to lose that one. So I'll drop that one in the chat now for you to check that out at some point during the afternoon or whenever you want to. So that's there. So you can watch that one, of course. But yes, that is true. Scotland are really on the rise. It was a red card for me personally. If you're going to charge into the breakdown like that, make contact with someone, not wrapping your arms, it is a red card. Wales were really poor in the first half. That try at the end of the first half that we got through Louis Rees-Sam, it was a big lifeline. But in the second half, we just took opportunities, and Scotland had a couple of opportunities to take penalties, and they just didn't do it. So that is how I see it. But Scotland looking good, and it's a shame you've got France next, because that's a really tough game. France is a really tough game, and France are really doing well. Cecile, bonjour, ça va? Welcome along, my friend. I've not seen you here on the channel before. Welcome. You are most welcome here. Be sure to get involved in the chat. Subscribe if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on this from a French perspective. And I've got the French jersey on as well. So, Ireland, a lot to do in the second half. The French defence has been brilliant, but not enough creativity, in my opinion, from an Irish perspective. You'd like to see more in the second half. But welcome along to the stream. It's brilliant to have you alongside. Now, a little announcements for you folks. I do help out with the 3 Bod Rugby group, which makes weekly and monthly shows covering all aspects of rugby, and I am part of the Welsh Rugby Roundup show, which covers Welsh rugby. And this Friday, we got the pleasure of interviewing women's head coach for Wales, Warren Abrams. We're going to be interviewing him. So any questions you've got, be sure to drop them in the chat here. Or you can follow the Welsh Rugby Roundup show on Twitter, which I'll drop a link to that in the chat as well. And you can tweet us your questions for him. We're going to have a chat to him about the women's game, about the fact that the Women's Six Nations was originally postponed, but now it's announced that it's going to be taking place in April. So that's fantastic. So any questions you've got for him, drop them in the chat, or you can just send them to us on Twitter. So you can check out our Twitter here. There it is. Our Twitter is there. Freddie Clark says, if France win, I see them being Six Nations champions. Well, if France win and we keep winning, it'll be a Grand Slam decider, only on the final weekend. I'm not that optimistic as a Wales fan. Ian Gilbert seems to agree with Freddie. Hopefully we can beat them again, but they are so strong at the minute. I think France always had that ability going forward, didn't they? They always had that. And this young team that's come through play without fear. And that's, I think, something we saw with Louis Rees-Zammit yesterday. He plays without fear. He backs himself to do things. He doesn't think, oh, maybe I should cut inside. Maybe I should play the simple pass. He backs himself and backs his ability and what he can do. And that's something that we're seeing with France a lot, that they're backing themselves, they believe in what they're doing, and they go for it. And that's fantastic to see. They play great rugby at the same time as doing that. But also, they've always had that ability to do that. But Shaun Edwards going in has fixed that defence massively. And on the whole, the discipline is actually very, very good. The trip was stupid, and I think they were lucky to get away with some areas of the game. The trip was just stupid. It was really stupid. But yeah, we will have to see on that one. But France looked good, man. And France have looked strong. Let's quickly take a look at some stats from that first half, folks, because it is half time. Let's take a look at some stats for that. So let me share my screen. Freddie, I'll come to your comment in just a second, pal. And YouTube as well. I'll get to your comment in just a second. So you can see me, and now you can see the stats, folks. So at half time, Ireland dominated possession 56% to France's 44%. Then time in possession, 9 minutes for Ireland and 8 minutes for France. Time in opposition, 22, pretty equal, 2 minutes each-ish. Time in opposition, half fairly equal as well. But point/visit to the 22, 2.0 points, 0 for Ireland. Not great from them at all. Possession kicked away. France have actually kicked a little bit more than the Irish. Bad passes from Ireland, 3-1. Offloads, look at this. France really trying to offload the ball here. 6 offloads compared to their 2. And handling errors is pretty equal as well. Tackling success for France is actually very good at 92%. 87 is fairly good for Ireland, but it is not ideal. Missed tackles, 9 missed tackles for the French, which is not great. Dominant tackles, 0 apiece. Scrums won. Both teams have won their scrums. Both teams have won their lineouts, except for one for the French, which Ireland did steal. And so far, it's looked okay. I mean, Billy Burns has missed a kick as well, and so did Jalibert. But on the whole, folks, it's been fairly okay. It's been a fairly okay game, hasn't it? And France definitely deserving to go in. Freddie Clark says, I don't see them winning against England. That he's talking about Wales there. We've got our players back. I would still say that England are favourites going into that game, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. We're ready for the second half here. I'm just going to go grab a couple of bits and we'll crack on with the second half. So don't go anywhere. There we go. We've all sorted on my end. Let me just close the door. The second half is just about to kick off here. A couple of your comments before we crack on with that. I'm just really glad the matches are really close. Makes it way more exciting. Exactly. And Gilbert says, Rees-Zammit was wonderful yesterday. I have him in my fantasy team, of course. I think a lot of people will do now. Kickoff has just happened. France have kicked more than Ireland. Yes, they have. It's interesting that. But again, I think France's kicks have been really just to clear their lines a lot more. But we have kicked off here. A line out to France, just outside the 22 of the Irish. Let's see how this one goes. So what do Ireland need to do? What do Ireland need to do? Well, a bit of creativity would be nice. If we're to be totally honest, they just have not shown that level of creativity. France win their line out. Dupont finds Jalibert. Jalibert finds Leroux. Dupont. Oh, it's lovely. Here we go. 5 meters out. Dupont. Ball got to go wide. Oh, he's thrown into his own player in the head. Oh, well. Bursting through the French prop there. Dupont goes to pass it. Hits. I think it's Olivon in the head. Oh, Wilhelms it hits in the head. If he's not there, Vincent passes it one more time and it's a try. Indeed, Long. Indeed. But Ireland lucky to get away with that. A 22 dropout then for Ireland. But again, the difference. HIA, I think, for Billy Burns. So Rossburn is on. I think Rossburn's coming on. Yeah, it's Rossburn coming on for Ireland. We hope Billy Burns is okay. I mean, it's worrying if you're Irish here. It's worrying because France, every time they're attacking in your 22, they look like they're going to score. They just do. So Billy Burns is off and Rossburn will restart this 22. And Villiers wins his high ball. Jalibert finds Olivon. Big carrying here from France. That has been knocked on, but France, Ireland turn it over here. Advantage knock on, indeed it is. Gibson Park. And again, another head injury here. Cian Healy, and I'm not sure who the other is. Yeah, just absolutely smash heads here, don't they? Bang. Cian Healy. That's got to hurt. We hope they're both okay. Let's get to some of your comments. Freddie Clark, if Battle starts at 10, Wales will win. Interesting. I did think George Ford made a massive difference yesterday, didn't he? He made a massive difference to that England team. So, Cian Healy just getting some treatment. And this is why it's so important that the HIA protocols are in place. We know the lasting effects. We've done a few videos on the channel here with former players, such as Stuart Corser, who had played for Scotland A and played for Glasgow Warriors, had to retire due to concussion. It's not something we like to see, and it's something that we need to get rid of in the game if we can. So a few injury can. Oh, Cian Healy's bleeding pretty badly here. That looks pretty bad, and he's certainly coming off. There's an Ireland blood replacement only. I'll be surprised it comes back in. Ed Byrne is on for Ireland in the front row. That's the change that is happening there. Ian Henderson leaves, and it is... I wish I knew who it was. I didn't quite catch who that was coming on, but scrum here. So here we go then. Irish putting out the scrum inside their own half here on the 10-metre line. Standard switches the play. Ringrose I think that came off a French arm as it went out there. France stifle the Irish defence very, very well. They go across with them, but there's no penetration from this Irish team at all. None at all. It's way too easy to defend against. There's no one throwing dummies. There's no one trying anything. There's no one chipping over the top. There's no one doing anything like that. You need a little bit of a spark. There's no spark in this Irish team that say they're going to do something different, that can do something out of nothing. It's like you got Dupont for France, no Dupont to another level. You got Louis V. Samet for Wales. For England, you'd say someone like Odogu can do something special. Maybe that's why you need a Cooney in the squad. It's really bad news, and it doesn't look good at all, does it? It really doesn't look good. We hope they're both okay, and yeah, it's concerning at the minute in World Rugby. Better scrum here from France on the halfway line. Dupont finds Ficou. Wraps it around. There is a man on the left there that they could have. It's a strange decision to kick. And this might go dead. 22 dropout. Interesting choice there from Pinot. I thought if he'd have kept the ball in hand, there were options out wide. Rossburn will restart with the 22 then. Dulin takes the ball, bounces off James Lowe. Dupont finds Pinot, a little bit isolated. He is tackled by Josh van der Fleer. Dupont finds Hawass. The speed of ball from this French side. Oh, lovely hands! Just not the play that you wanted to receive the ball there if you were French. Ball out wide, Ficou. Lovely hands here. Oh, Dulan's knocked it forward, and that will be a scrum to Ireland. France looking dangerous now, they're attacking. Ian Gilbert asked if there's no spark in the team, how come we have Burns? Well, in this game, he's not done anything, if I'm being totally honest. He's not done enough for me at all. The high kick has worked to an extent, but once France work that out, and I think everyone's worked that out by now, Ireland have not looked like scoring a try, except for the James Lowe moment, which obviously his foot was in touch. France, every time they have the ball, they look like they're going to score in the Irish half/22. If that's not a knock-on from Dulin, that's a ball out wide there, and that's a try, isn't it? Is a pun of my being a div? Probably. So scrum here to Ireland just outside of their own 22. 6 minutes played of the second half. Still France leading 10 points to 3. Let me change that. Did not want to work. There we go. Gibson Park with another box kick. Wilhelms wins this one. Dupont. Ah, Dupont. Why would you try that? Trying the low look pass. It's really not worked. Rossburn. Here's Keenan. Tackled well. Gibson Park. This Irish attack is beginning to create some space. Lowe finds the forwards. Here comes Rossburn. Rossburn's a man over here. If Ireland can get the ball out quickly, CJ Stander, probably not the man you want in those positions. Henshaw, ooh, very close to breaking the tackle. Great feet from him. Gibson Park finds Rossburn. Halfway line. James Lowe kicks. It's not an awful kick at all. It's really an okay kick, that one, into the 22. And it is going to be pressure on the French line out, just inside their own 22 here. But again, it's that thing with Ireland. It's not working, and they go to kick. And it's not an awful kick from James Lowe. But for France, as long as they get their line out okay, and as long as they get their clearance okay, the defence is holding up, easily holding up. LuTube asks an interesting question. Would you say Stuart Hogg is one of the best fullbacks in the world at the moment? I'd probably say he is the best fullback in the world, as France win their own line out. And it'll be an easier exit for France. So yes, Stuart Hogg for me is the best fullback in the world right now. I'd then say the best 10 in the world is Finn Russell. I wouldn't say Ali Price is the best 9 though. I don't think so. But yes, Stuart Hogg is certainly the best fullback in the world, and the way he's led the team and being, you know, he's had 2 brilliant games. So he's been very, very good. So yeah, Hogg for me is probably the best fullback in the world right now. So 10 minutes into the second half, still 10 points to 3 in France's favour. That kick has not reached the line. It's nowhere near. Strange kicking going on here. Dulin kicks it down. Rossburn has time. He's in his own 22, so he could put this off the park if he wants, and he does. It's not the greatest kick, to be honest. So here we go. Time for a French attack. Freddie puts an interesting comment. More Scotland players go to Prem clubs. That improves them. Well, we've seen it with Johnny Gray at Exeter. We've seen it with, of course, Stuart Hogg at Exeter. Cameron Redpath plays for Bath, and he was fantastic for Scotland last week. So, yes, I think it does improve players, but then you want to get the balance between keeping your players at home. France lose their line-out once again here, and Ireland could look to counter. But the thing is, you see here that in Wales, we have this 60 cap rule, which I am a fan of and I'm not as well. I think it does work, but it also doesn't work. It's a balancing act, but for some players thrive off going abroad, and some players really don't. Oh, he should have passed. If he passes there, there's an overlap there. Villiers, lovely feet. He could be isolated here. This could be a turnover. Very well played. Dupont clears. Once again, a great kick from Dupont. That's not going to bounce over the 22, is it, for Rossburn? It only just about does be a 22 dropout for Ireland. So it's still 10 points to 3. But yeah, here in Wales, the 60 cap rule is good and it's bad at the same time. Lots of players are now returning to Wales, so they'll be eligible to play for the team. But some players have just said, well, for instance, Reece Priestland, playing pretty well for Bath. Bath is struggling a lot at the minute, I know. No idea what should happen there in that play of the game. But yeah, a lot of players are coming back. The likes of Callum Sheedy's going to have to come back. Johan Lloyd eventually is going to have to come back if he wants to be involved in the Wales squad. It's going to be interesting to see over the next few years who comes back. But you look at Finn Russell, how much has he improved since going to France, for instance? He's improved immeasurably, and he's probably the best 10 in the world. Freddie says that, in my opinion, the Prem is probably the best European league, and yeah, I'd probably agree with that in the French league. And then obviously you got the Pro 14, of course. I think the problem in the Pro 14, as Keith Earls here breaks but is tackled well, Gibson Park is knocked on. Advantage to France. Now, this is when France are the most dangerous. Dupont puts the kick over. Oh, Lowe's dropped it. Villiers in here if you get it to Dulin. He can't. I'm not sure if this is a knock-on from France. They're coming back for the original knock-on. And France beginning to look more and more dangerous here. James Lowe drops it. Villiers gathers there. He tries to offload, doesn't work, comes off Earls, but I think they'll come back for the original penalty. I think the problem with the Pro 14, as I was just talking about then, is the difference between the top teams and the bottom teams is huge. You compare Zebra to where Leinster are. And Zebra never in the next 3 years going to beat Leinster. Never will. Not in the next 3 years for sure. Then you have the likes of the Dragons. You'd probably put Edinburgh and Glasgow in there this season, but traditionally you wouldn't. Tad Furlong is coming on for Ireland. 52 minutes in. Then you probably have Cardiff Blues, Scarlets, and maybe Connacht. And then you have Ospreys, and you'd probably say Scarlets, maybe. Or you'd put Ospreys and Munster in that area. And then you have the likes of Ulster and Leinster, who are just miles ahead, and Leinster are even further ahead of that. So, as Freddie says there, really good comment. In the Premier, anyone can beat anyone on their day. That doesn't happen in the Pro 14. It's not that competitive. No, not everyone can beat Leinster, but Leinster can beat everyone. But then the Ospreys could easily lose against Zebra. It could happen. It's unlikely this season, but it's a challenge, isn't it? And with the South African teams coming in, is that really going to improve the quality of the league? Is that going to help the likes of Zebra to improve? I don't think it does, to be honest. I don't think it does. Do we know the results from the HIA as well? As far as I can see, neither of the players have come back on. I believe it's probably been about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's definitely been over 10 minutes, so they're not coming back. As France attacks, so Billy Burns is not coming back. Rosberg will play out the rest of the game. Dupont finds Jalibert into Leroux. It's advantage to France here. Good decision making from Hawass there. They might as well try something here, France, because they've got the advantage. As Dulin. Dulin could be in here. He just needs one more. He's in. Penaud scores. And that probably is the game, in my opinion. I think France have just won it there. 15 points to 3. Advantage to France. Jalibert dances around. Dulin gets a little bit of space. The Irish defence is on the other side of the pitch. And he pops it into Penaud. And it's a brilliant finish. Is that a game over? I think it probably is, to be honest with you. It's lovely work from Jalibert. Dupont switched the play with Jalibert. That understanding between them two has been brilliant. Dulin, James Lowe has to make that tackle. If James Lowe is flying out like that, he has to make that tackle. And he just pops it to Penaud, who's in the corner. It's easy, man. But James Lowe has to make that tackle, in my opinion. He's got to make that. He's got to make that tackle, unfortunately. And yet he doesn't make it. So Jalibert to add the 2 for France. It's a hard kick for a right footer. And he has missed it. So it remains 15 points to 3 to France. It's a long way back for Ireland now. It's a long way back. It's a great finish from Penaud as well. I think this is game over now, folks. I really do think this is game over. I can't see France, Ireland coming back from this. Olivon getting penalised there for taking the man out. So 22 here. Oh, HIA news for you. Ian Gilbert, Cian Healy is back on the field, so he has passed his assessment. So line out to Ireland here on the French 22. And Ireland lose that. Oh, it's bounced back. This could be a great try for Ireland. McKelleher has scored here. Ooh, interesting. Well, France originally stole this. It was then ripped. And then Kelleher, the bounce is very fortuitous. He bounces Villiers off him and scores. Wow. What do I know? What do I know? Yeah, definitely 4 nerves for that one. Yes, indeed. Ireland have a score. So 8 points to 15. Very interesting indeed. Nearly 60 minutes on the clock. Rosburn will take this kick. It's not the easiest for a right footer, but might be able to get this one. So Rosburn to try to add to that 5 points, which he does successfully. So Ireland up to 10, only 5 points behind. And wow, interesting indeed. Very interesting. Next score is going to be very, very important in this one. Very fortuitous, but you got to take your chances, don't you? So France ringing in the changes, it seems. So Jalibert kicks us off once again. Next score you feel is so important. France really putting pressure, really blitzing the defence here of Ireland. Ian Henderson is back on. Ian Gilbert. Ian Henderson is back on from his HIA, so he's passed as well. Line out 2. France just outside the 22 of Ireland. 20 minutes to go in this one. France beginning to attack here now from this line out. Looks like Ireland might have got this one. Not quite. Yes, they have. They've turned this one over. Ringrose puts boot to ball. This could be out on its head. No, it stayed in. Dulin sends it up high. Gibson Park stopped it. Villiers kicks it forward. Dupont's chasing. Lowe will get there though. And it'll be an Irish 22. So, a few comments to get in. Warren Cottel, is Ireland going to win? Well, it's going to be very tight. Next score is crucial. Warren, welcome. I have not seen you here on the channel before. Welcome, my friend. Hope you are well. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here, my friend. It's free to do and helps you keep up to date with everything on the channel. Let me know, how do you think this game's going so far? Ian is glad to see the two players back on from their HIA. Adrian says this French team can go all the way. Well, they need to win this game first. As I said, next score is crucial. Next score is very crucial. And of course, Ian Gilbert sorted this out. Henderson is back on the pitch. Ireland seem to be a lot more confident now, actually. Playing with the ball in hand, going through the phases. France had dominated the start of the second half, and now Ireland seem to be the team on the front foot. Can France play this professionally and get the job done? That is the question for sure. Ball out wide here. Ringrose with ball in hand. Earls had a little bit of space on the left. CJ Stander runs into the two French props. Gibson Park box kicks again. Dulin thought he'd been caught in the air, but ref says no. Play on. Right, let's see what France can do here. Just inside their own half. Dupont goes to Willems. Back to Jalibert, who puts boot to ball. Oh, low with a lovely turn away from Panot, and he puts boot to ball. This is probably going to be too much. It'll be a 22 dropout to France. But a 22 dropout here for France. So 18 minutes to go, folks. Let me know how you're seeing this one going. What are your thoughts on the game? Any questions, do get them in. I'll be fascinated to hear your thoughts on this one. CJ Stander tackled on the halfway line by Olivon. Gibson Park plays it back to Ross Byrne. Ross Byrne finds Tad Furlong. Ringrose, some lovely hands here from Ireland. Outside here to Josh van der Fleer. Tackle, though, by Vincent. Ireland are beginning to get over the gain line. They're beginning to make some gains with their runs now. That potentially was a high tackle from France, but ref says nothing. Ross Byrne tackled. I think Ficou's over this one. Yes, he is. Oh, he's penalised the high tackle, in fact. So penalty to Ireland. This is a big decision here. What are they going to do? I think they're going for the post. Yes, they are. Ross Byrne's going for the post. It's a bit of a distance out, about 40 metres or so. It was a little bit of a high tackle. It's one of them tackles where it's definitely not a card or anything like that. The player's dipped. Ross Byrne's dipped. And the French prop has just caught him on the shoulder, just up here, a little bit high. That is all. So Ross Byrne looking here to make the gap just the 2 points. This kick looks good. It is good. And Ireland are beginning to push the French close. This game is certainly not over. It is, in fact, Ireland 13, France 15. Well, those kicks, those missed kicks from France going to come to bite them. "15 minutes to go in this one." 15 minutes to go, folks. Let's see how this one plays out. Ireland look to box kick. It's been a very tight game, this one. Josh van der Fleer is off for Ireland as Dulan collects that one very, very well. He has just been dragged out, but Ireland have turned this one over. Ireland really setting the tempo now here and dominating the possession. Ringrose, Earls has a little bit of space, but probably receives it a little bit earlier than he would have wished in that situation. Gibson Park gives it to the forwards, who will take it on. Ireland going through the forwards now on the 10-metre line. Ross Byrne finds James Lowe. James Lowe steps beautifully. Kicks. Is that out on its head? It is out on its head. He's had a difficult afternoon, if we're being totally honest, James Lowe. Great footwork from him.
Just a little bit too much pressure. I thought he did a great job to get away from the defender. Had a little bit more time and potentially could have run a little more steps. But when you go through this big as that, it's trouble controlling it when you're on the run. If you say it's strong,
Teddy Thomas is on for France. Interesting decision. As France get the line out just outside the 22, Jalibert gives it to Vincent. Dylan Cretin is also on for France. They'll go to the forwards here, maybe try and play for a penalty. France, this is getting tense. 13 minutes left here. Oh, has he gone forward? Oh, no, I think he went backwards. I think he's okay. Hawass is, he's on his own here. This is not good. France coming forward, though. Goes to the backs. Ficou to Jalibert. Jalibert's got a step of pace. Finds Teddy Thomas, and his first touch, he drops in. He goes forward. And it'll be a scrum to the Irish. Teddy Thomas' first touch, and he knocks it forward. Dear me. So scrum to Ireland just inside the 22 there. Ringing the changes. Keith Earls is off and Jordan Lama is on for Ireland. So Gibson Park will feed this one in. Shall we have a look at the benches just to see what both teams have as options? So Ireland on their bench have Kelleher's come on, Byrne, who's come on, Furlong has come on, Delaney, they've Connors, Casey, Byrne has come on, and Lama has also come on. For France, they've got Bourgarit, they've got Collingar, Antonio, Tofferenner, Cretin has come on, they've got Serrano as the scrum half, who's an option, Boutier, and they got Teddy Thomas, who has also come on. So, those are the options off the bench. If you're a coach of either team, who would you look to bring on? Teddy Thomas with ball in hand. Can't quite beat his man. This good counter-rucking. Somehow France retain the ball. No, they don't. Under stolen it. Who knows what's going on at this point in the game? It's all a bit madness. But just 2 points in it. And it's not forward from Ireland. Advantage to France. Here we go. A little bit. Oh, he's like a 5-on-2 here. Ficou decides to kick. Is that the right decision? Probably not the right decision there. There we go then. So a line out just inside the own half. Inappropriate drinking grapefruit juice. It's just, it honestly is just summer fruits from Robinson's. It's nothing. It's nothing else. And I got a cup of tea, of course. Got to have a cup of tea, don't you? We got the fruit pastels as well. And we've had the hula hoops as well. France win their line-out. Cretin collects. Dupont kicks. Jordan Lama drops, but it went backwards. And he kicks. Did he kick straight out? Yes, he does. So Ireland are really looking to compete at the line-out here. Some changes for France here then. Willems is off with Taoufifa coming on. He's a big lad. He's a very big lad. Willems putting a shift today. Olivon collects for France. Advantage to France. Collapsing or making contact in the line out. Now, what do France do here? Do you go for the corner? Or do you take the points and you go 5 points ahead? But you always know. You always know that Ireland are just a converted try away from winning the game. I think Jalibert is going to kick here. Olivon is getting some treatment for cramp, I believe. That's what it looks like anyway. Jalibert is going for the posts indeed. Jalibert, he's hit the post. He's hit the post. And Ireland will go from their own 22 here. 8 minutes on the clock, still just 2 points in it. France trying to slow this one down. Gibson Park will kick. Doesn't kick it off the field, but it does eventually go out off an Irish player. And it'll be a line out to France just outside the 22. It's getting nervy now, isn't it? It's getting pretty nervy. It is getting very nervy now. Very close. Jalibert's missed 2 kicks, so he's left 6 points. 6 points here. Does Untitled get them? It's hard to know, isn't it? It's hard to know. Tadburn is off. A big shift from him again today. And Ultan Dilane is on. I hope I've said that right. Probably not. There's a maul to France, though, here. Moving forward slowly. It is beginning to move now. Breaks off Dupont. Steps. Beats Gibson Park. Dupont could be in here. Oh, lovely hands. Here we go. Ball out wide. Jalibert finds Ficou. Ficou to Vincent, who straightens the line. They need a scrum off. They have it. Taoufifa is tackled early. And it's a brilliant rip. It's a knock on, and Ireland will have the put-in at the scrum. Wow. Wow, it's been a crazy couple of minutes there. Antoine Dupont there, dancing feet. He just pushed Tad's Furlong off, pushes Gibson Park off, tackled by Lama, somehow gets the offload off to Aldreed, and in the end the knock-on comes. But again, this next score is massive in this game, isn't it? Who can get the next score in this one is going to win this game, I think. So 6 minutes to go. France have the import in the scrum, so there's a knock-on from Ireland. 10 metres out or so. It's a good scrum from both sides. Dupont is tackled. It just took so long, though, on that one. They're just so slow to get the ball out there. Good defence from Ireland, but slow from them there. So it'll be a scrum here to Ireland in their own 22. Marchand is off, Bourgeois is on, Cyril Bailly is off, Hassana Kolingar is on. So a few changes for both sides. Reset this scrum. Clock is ticking down. This suits. Thank you. My pronunciation is woeful. So, 4 minutes to go here. Gibson Park will feed this one in. Ireland will look for a good exit, or will they look to play? That is the question. Here we go then. 4 minutes on the clock. France leading 15 points to 13. Nervous ending here. Ref tells Gibson Park to use it. James Lowe puts boot to ball. Teddy Thomas tries to win that one, but Gibson Park has won that. Is that potentially a high tackle? Referee says no. 3 minutes left on the clock. Gibson Park's going to kick this one, which is an interesting choice. Teddy Thomas comes and claims it. Any mistake from Ireland now, and you're thinking this is 3 points to wrap the game up. Dupont's going to kick this one. He's going to put it deep into Irish territory. Just outside the 20. I think he's caught him in the air. Lowe finds Gibson Park. This is great hands. But he is pushed into touch. Lovely play there from James Lowe and Gibson Park. Now, has Teddy Thomas taken him in the air? I don't know. Gibson Park does really well to hold on to the ball. Dulan catches him in the end. We are very, very close to the end here. If you have not done so yet, be sure to subscribe. 2 minutes to go. It is a nervy ending. I'm not sure why he's not playing. I'm not sure. A new front row, this is. New front row for France. I've not heard of many of these players before. It's a maul to France on the halfway line. Dupont goes on his own. Probably not the right decision there. Dupont will have to use it here. He's decided to go for the kick with a minute and a half left. He's gone for the kick. Well, a penalty. Ryan Laffin, welcome along, my friend. You were here yesterday. Fantastic to have you. Right, Ireland, last chance here, a minute on the clock. Penalty in their own 22. Rossburn will kick this one down. Just outside their own 22, sorry. And he will put them just over the halfway line. A minute to go here. Ref saying discipline to France. They need to keep their discipline here. Ireland have won all of their lineouts, 8 out of 8. Can they make it 9 out of 9? Yes, they can. Gibson Park finds James Lowe as the first receiver. Ross Byrne, Henshaw. 30 seconds to go here, folks. Stander finds Byrne. Ref says for France to leave it. 20 seconds to go. Connors nearly got through there. Tad Furlong tackled by the French props. 10 seconds to go here at the Aviva. No mistakes now for Ireland allowed. The clock is red, folks. The clock is red. Lama tackled by Dupont. No mistakes from either team able to happen here. If I was France, you just don't commit to the breakdown. If I was Ireland, you just got to go for it. 8 phases in here. Henshaw, Gibson Park, Ross Byrne, Henshaw, Tad Furlong, Ross Byrne, Porter, Gibson Park, Ross Byrne. Is our maul? We've nearly gone a minute over the red. France have pushed them back to the halfway line here. Ringrose tackled by Cretan. You just it's nervy endings here at the Aviva. France have stolen it. This is going to be it. France have stolen it here. This is going to get kicked off by Dulan, and France have won here. France have won 15 points to 13. It is the final score, ladies and gentlemen. What a game of rugby. What a game of rugby. France win, though. 15 points to 13. They held on until the end. Wow, what a game. What a game of rugby. My heart was going there. What a game of rugby. 15 points to 13. First one in Dublin for France since 2011. Freddie Clark says France is going to win the Six Nations. It's hard to see anyone else who can do it now, isn't it? It's a brilliant result for the French. What a performance from them. Fair play to them. What an effort. What an effort for them. When does lockdown end? Who knows, mate? Who knows? Fair play to France, though. Very, very well deserved. Ireland pushed them really, really close and came up strong in the end. So get your final comments in before I jump off, if you want to get any in. And there will be a 5 big talking points from this game out later tonight on the channel, probably about 7:30ish, 8 o'clock. So be sure to be subscribed for that. But it is full time here. France getting the win in the end, and full credit to them. They were brilliant today. They were brilliant today. Get your final comments in. We took the cork out of the champagne bottle, but it wasn't enough to win. It wasn't, unfortunately. But maybe Ireland have painted a little bit of a picture of how to get out this Irish team. But the defence for France throughout that game, I was really, really impressed by that. So, yeah, really impressed by that for sure. But yeah, not much creativity from Ireland. Their try came off quite a lucky bounce, if we're being totally honest. That'll be a concern for the Irish team going forward. Yeah, it is very, very frustrating. So finally, just before we go, let's quickly catch up on the round's action. So, of course, yesterday we saw England beating Italy 41 points to 18. We saw Wales narrowly beating the Scots 25 points to 24. And we also saw France beating Ireland 15 points to 13. The next round sees Italy host the Irish. That is on the 27th of Feb. So we have a 2-week break now, of course. Don't forget about that. So Italy host Ireland on the 27th of Feb. 2:15 kickoff. That one is. I will do a watch along for that one. And then it's the big one, isn't it? It's Wales against England. 4:45 kickoff. That'll be a watch along on the 3-bod rugby group, Facebook page and YouTube page. So do be sure to check that one out. We did one yesterday for Wales against Scotland, which was great. And then on the Sunday, the 28th, it is Scotland. They travel to Paris for France's first home game of the tournament. So that's going to be really interesting for them. So that is going to be in 2 weeks' time. Ian Gilbert, thank you very much. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for your comments. It's been great to have you along. I'll see you for the next watch along, which is, by the way, going to be Sunday, this coming Sunday, as Bristol play against London Irish in the Gallagher Premiership. That's going to start about 2:45. So join us for that one if you're interested in that game. Freddie Clark says if Ford starts at 10, England might beat Wales. Indeed. Indeed. That's going to be a big game. And honestly, in here, I don't think the belief here in Wales is that we can win this. And I don't think we can. And I don't think being at home will make all that much difference for us, but it'll be interesting. If it was at Twickenham, I'd definitely say England will win, but we'll just have to wait and see how things go. So there we go. France are winners over Ireland, 15 points to 13. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been brilliant to get your comments and your chats and your thoughts on the game and your questions. As always, do hit that subscribe button. It's massively appreciated. And follow the Facebook page. If you haven't done already, you can follow me on Twitter as well. Until next time, folks, once again, there will be the 5 talking points out tonight. There will be my dream team of the round out tomorrow evening, so subscribe for that. And also then next Sunday, there will be a watch-along for Bristol Bears against London Irish in the Gallagher Premiership due to the No Six Nations being on. That will start about 2:45 with kickoff at 3 o'clock. But from me, that is everything. I've really enjoyed your company today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a fantastic community of rugby supporters. And I'll see you very soon. Commiserations to Ireland. Congratulations to France. I'll see you soon here on the Brandon Smith Rugby channel. Take it easy, guys, and peace.